contact is one of the most effective ways to break free from a narcissist's control. And if you've been in a toxic relationship, you probably know that it's not an easy step to take. It takes a lot of strength to decide to cut off communication completely, especially when the narcissist has spent so much time making you feel like you need them or that they're an essential part of your life. When you finally go no contact, you're reclaiming your power and setting boundaries that protect your mental and emotional well-being. But the question is, how do narcissists react when you go no contact for a long period of time? At first, it might seem like silence is golden. You're no longer dealing with their manipulative tactics, emotional roller coasters, or constant drama. But here's the thing about narcissists. They don't handle losing control well. In their world, everything revolves around them. And when their victim, the person they've been feeding off emotionally, suddenly removes themselves from the picture, it sends a shockwave through their reality. Narcissists thrive on attention, validation, and control, so when that supply is cut off, they struggle to adjust. Initially, a narcissist might pretend they don't care. They'll act like your decision to go no contact doesn't bother them at all. They might even post on social media or talk to mutual friends about how they're doing great, how they've moved on, and how your absence hasn't affected them one bit. This, of course, is just a facade. Narcissists are experts at putting on a show, and they'll often try to make it look like they're completely unbothered. This is especially true if they think you're watching. They want you to feel like you made the wrong choice, that they're thriving without you, and that you should regret going no contact. But behind the scenes, things are different. When a narcissist doesn't get the reaction they want, when their attempts to provoke you or get you to break no contact fail, they begin to feel that loss of control deeply. Narcissists can't stand feeling irrelevant. And when you stop giving them your time and energy, they feel exactly that, irrelevant. The longer you stay no contact, the more they begin to panic, even if they don't show it outwardly. You see, narcissists have a need for validation that goes beyond what most people require in relationships. They're constantly seeking to fill a void inside themselves, and they do that by controlling and manipulating the people around them. When you take that away from them, they feel a sense of emptiness, and that's when things can get tricky. If you've been no contact with a narcissist for a long time, they'll often try different tactics to get your attention again. One of the ways they might react is through hoovering. Hoovering is when the narcissist attempts to suck you back into their orbit just like a vacuum. This could come in the form of an unexpected message or call where they act like everything is fine and try to start a casual conversation as if nothing ever happened. They might even act like they've changed or that they've suddenly realized the mistakes they made in the relationship. They'll say all the right things, play the victim, and try to convince you that things could be different this time if you just gave them another chance. This is classic narcissistic behavior. It's important to remember that they haven't actually changed. They just want to regain the control they lost when you went no contact. When they sense that their manipulation isn't working anymore, they might start to get desperate. This could lead to more aggressive forms of hoovering, like trying to guilt trip you or make you feel responsible for their well-being. They'll say things like, "I can't believe you just left me like that," or "I've been so depressed since you've been gone." The goal is to pull on your emotional strings and make you feel guilty enough to respond. If that doesn't work, narcissists might shift to anger. They'll start to lash out because they can't handle the fact that they're not in control. They might send angry messages, accuse you of abandoning them, or even start spreading rumors about you to mutual friends or on social media. This is their way of trying to regain some sense of power over the situation. If they can't get you to break no contact through manipulation or guilt, they'll try to do it through intimidation or drama. Narcissists love chaos, and when they feel like they're losing control, they'll often try to stir things up to pull you back into the emotional mess. But here's where it gets interesting. If you stay strong and continue no contact, the narcissist eventually starts to realize that their tactics aren't working anymore. At this point, they might go into what's called narcissistic collapse. This happens when they're forced to confront the reality that they've lost control and that their usual methods of manipulation aren't effective anymore. For narcissists, this is devastating. Their whole sense of self is built on the idea that they can control and manipulate others. So when that's taken away, it feels like their world is crumbling. During this phase, they might go into full victim mode, telling anyone who will listen how much you hurt them and how they're the real victim in the situation. They might seek out new sources of validation, trying to find someone else to fill the void you left behind, but deep down, they're still grappling with the fact that they no longer have control over you. For some narcissists, this can lead to depression or even a sense of identity crisis. They're so used to defining themselves through their ability to control others that when they lose that, they don't know who they are. However, it's crucial to remember that no matter how much the narcissist struggles with the loss of control, it's not your responsibility to help them through it. Narcissists have a way of making you feel like you're responsible for their emotional state, but the truth is, their inability to cope with no contact is a reflection of their own issues, not yours. By staying no contact, you're protecting yourself from further manipulation and allowing yourself to heal. At the end of the day, the narcissist's reaction to prolonged no contact will vary depending on the person, but one thing is consistent: they don't handle it well. Whether they try to hoover you back in, lash out in anger, or collapse into self-pity, their goal is always the same: to regain control. But by staying firm in your boundaries and refusing to engage, you're breaking free from their cycle of manipulation. It's all a manipulation. They want to keep you guessing, doubting, and wondering what could have been. But here's the truth. You are better off without the narcissist, and the fact that they're panicking over losing you is a testament to your strength and worth. You were never the problem in the relationship. Narcissists are experts at shifting blame and making you feel like you weren't enough. But the reality is that no one will ever be enough for a narcissist because their needs are insatiable. Their panic stems from the realization that they can't replace you no matter how hard they try. So, what should you do if you sense that your narcissist ex is starting to panic? The best course of action is to maintain your boundaries and stay focused on your own healing. Don't engage with their attempts to reach out or compare themselves to their new supply. Remember, they thrive on drama and emotional chaos, so the best way to disarm them is by refusing to play their games. By keeping your distance, you're sending a powerful message. You don't need them, and their attempts to make you feel inferior have no effect on you. The fact that the narcissist is panicking over losing you is proof that you've already won. You've escaped the cycle of manipulation, and you're on a path to finding genuine happiness and fulfillment, something a narcissist will never truly experience.